Hello everybody, welcome to Journalism at the University of Leicester. My name is Tor Clark. I am Associate Professor in Journalism and BA Journalism Programme Director, and I'm delighted to welcome you to the Digital Open Day today. I'm going to have a chat with you about journalism at Leicester, as you would expect. I'm going to go through a presentation which I hope you can see on your screen in front of you. And you'll see that there's a chat function on this Digital Open Day. If you have any questions, if you'd like to pop them in the chat or any technical issues or whatever, and we will be able to respond to them. So the format is that I'm going to introduce the subject to you in a talk and then pause and take some questions. So please do put the questions in as they occur to you, and obviously we will we'll have a chat at the end of the presentation. I hope that's okay. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the various open day events you'll go to. You'll get a lot of statistics from various points in all the talks you go to. The University of Leicester has been quite consistent recently, and you'll see the stat in the middle there, 30th in the UK in the Guardian University Guide. The university was also did quite well in the Research Excellence Framework, around the same level, and in the Sunday Times league table, and in the Complete University Guide. And you'll see at the top there, 27th best UK university in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings. So if you left this thinking that the University of Leicester is a top 30 UK university, generally in most of the in the stats, that's where you'll find us. But you know, each university will give you a different set of stats. It's more about what you think about how the university fits with you. I'm going to talk about that next. So have a think about what you want in a university, and I'm going to talk to you about why Leicester might be right for you. And particularly why our BA journalism course might be right for you. So the first thing to say, and that's why you're all here today after all, is that journalism is important and it shapes how we view the world. Journalism is really important on helping people understand the world and take a view on what's going on in the world. Secondly, perhaps it should be firstly, but it's secondly here, studying journalism is a lot of fun. If studying journalism wasn't a lot of fun, you'd be on the wrong course. You shouldn't be able to do journalism without it being a lot of fun. And here at the University of Leicester, you can study journalism, but also practice journalism at the same time and be assessed in both. This is really important. It's not a degree which is all practical. It's not a degree which is all theoretical. Our degree mixes the practice and theory of journalism really well, and in places it mixes them in the same module. So you can study the theory and the practice not just in the degree, but sometimes in the same module. And of course, having studied journalism equips you for a vast range of communication careers: journalism, public relations, corporate communications, things like that. The availability of careers in the communications industry is vast. The University of Leicester is one of the best universities in the UK at which you can study journalism. And so our slogan is think like a journalist, because this course is about thinking, and it's also about being about doing journalism. Hopefully you have run the rule over a number of journalism courses, and my role today really is to tell you why ours is special. So ours is different. We believe that you need the core skills of journalism and the key skills, and you need the ability and the confidence to use them across all platforms. So in the first year, we focus on the core skills and the key skills that you need. And then in the second year, you deploy these skills across a range of journalistic platforms. And that's because basically the core skills and the key skills stay the same. They don't change very much, but the platforms that journalism uses do change. And so we look at developing your journalism skills from the start of your course. As I always say, that journalism happens in your head, not on your keyboard. And that's what we need to start with. We have a broad focus on all aspects of journalism: digital and social media journalism, print journalism, broadcast journalism, and we cover these, all of them, throughout the course. You'll notice that there isn't a word in front of the word journalism for our course, and that's because it covers all types of journalism. The next thing to talk about is employability. We're really keen on employability, but you can't really study journalism without getting involved in employability. It runs right through the whole programme. Students start planning their future careers from day one. What's interesting is for many of our students, their plans change as they explore journalism. So a lot of students come in wanting to, thinking they want to be journalists, but actually they emerge out the other end wanting to work in careers like public relations or marketing, using the skills that they have developed during their journalism degree. So we have a compulsory first year employability module and a compulsory second year employability module and an innovative placement module, which is actually at the moment the students that are on placements as part of their degree. 2 of the students that are out of the current 7 that are doing placements have actually been offered paid work when their placement ends, because they've done so well in their placement. So that's a really good module. We also have specialist options throughout the program, which allows you to focus on areas which interest you the most. So for example, broadcast journalism, sports journalism and political journalism are just 3 of the specialisms we offer. We've talked about the course. I want to talk about the city now. I will come back to more specific details of what you actually study on the course in a moment, but I want to tell you a little bit about Leicester. For those of you who don't know Leicester, it's a buzzing city and it has great culture, sport and food. It is a diverse, multicultural city. If you are from that kind of city and you want to carry on in that kind of city, it's a great place for you to come. If you are from a less cosmopolitan and diverse community but you want to experience one, again, Leicester's a nice place to come to. In terms of sport, you have top flight rugby union, top flight cricket, and the Leicester Riders, which is the Manchester City of basketball. They win everything in basketball, all based in the city. And of course, you have the 2016 Premiership champions and 2021 FA Cup winners Leicester City, who after a very ropey start to the season are starting to climb their way up the Premier League once again. So there's lots of cultural highlights in Leicester. You'll be taught at our university by experts in their media research areas. You'll get to do your own research project with a leading researcher in that area, and you will meet people from across the world, not just in the city, but actually in the university and even in the School of Media Communication and Sociology in which we're based. Just to put things in perspective, we have 5 lecturers from Greece alone. We have lecturers from all over the world. We have many nationalities represented in our lecturing, in my lecturing colleagues, but also in our student body. We have students from all over the world, which is fantastic. It creates a really good feel and a really international feel to the school. Bit of history for you. You don't need to know this, but it just tells you where we are and what we've been doing. We are the School of Media Communication Sociology, as I've mentioned. We are based on the Centre for Mass Communication Research, which was established in 1966 and was the first research centre in the UK dedicated to the study of media and communication, which is important to note because you'll know that you can study media and communication at any university now, but we were the first research centre 56 years ago. We've had a substantial increase in academic staff since 2009. We became the School of Media Communication and Sociology in 2016, and this journalism degree was launched in 2019. If you are thinking of coming in 2023, exciting news we have for you is that 2 new joint degrees, journalism and media and journalism and sociology, are being launched in 2023. There's nothing to worry about in terms of them being new degrees because they are almost entirely based on existing modules which run on the journalism programme, the media programme and the sociology programme. So if you can't decide between 2 subjects, you can choose one of our joint degrees and actually continue to study 2 subjects at degree level. Because we are a proper university, we do research as well as teaching, and you can see there is a range of books based on the research that we do. The ones at the top are 4 of my recent books about aspects of journalism and politics, and the ones on the bottom are books written by my colleagues in a range of areas that you can see there. Now, the key thing really to today is for me to talk you through the various courses we offer and the modules that we offer. So I'm going to start with that now, and please, as I said earlier, do feel free to pop questions in the chat as we go forward. So our main degree is BA Journalism, which is just journalism, just the study of journalism without another subject involved. We also offer BA Journalism with Creative Writing, which is 75% journalism and 25% creative writing. That means each semester you would do typically 2 journalism modules and 1 creative writing module. We offer BA Journalism with a year abroad, where students study with us for 2 years and then go to a partner university for a 3rd year and come back for their final year. As I've just said, new for 2023, BA Journalism and Media and BA Journalism and Sociology. And you'll notice that those 2 other subjects are the 2 other subjects in our school. So those 2 joint programmes are joint within the School of Media, Communication and Sociology. We also offer, if you're not sure, if you're still making your mind up, we've got a BA Media and Communication degree, a BA Media and Society degree, which is half media and half sociology, BA Sociology, BA Film and Media as well. We've got lots to choose from. The joint degrees that I've mentioned are half journalism and half the other subject. So let's have a look at how our modules run and what they are and what's in them, what you'd actually be studying. So for BA Journalism and BA Journalism with Creative Writing, the first year has all compulsory modules. For BA Journalism, the second year has 4 compulsory modules and 2 optional modules. BA Journalism with Creative Writing has 4 compulsory journalism modules and 2 compulsory creative writing modules. In the final year, there is a compulsory dissertation, compulsory publishing project modules, and then the rest is a choice of modules. And I will illustrate that in a minute on the diagrams. You'll have to stick with me. There's an awful lot of modules coming up. So if you'd like to study BA Journalism, the first year has a core module on news basics, a core module on features journalism, a core module on the key concepts in journalism. You would also study journalism and ethics and regulation, journalism employability, an introduction to media and communication, media origins, which is a module about the history of journalism and other media, and a module called Introduction to Academic Skills, which is a really helpful module which helps students to make the transition from college to university. So you can see there that the two planks of the first year are news and features, which are the two important parts of journalism. If you'd like to study journalism with creative writing, you don't get to choose the ethics and regulation module or media origins. Instead, you do two creative writing modules, which are not very creatively called Introduction to Creative Writing Parts 1 and 2. On to the second year of that programme. The second year has, for BA Journalism, has a core module in digital and social media journalism, a core module in broadcast journalism, a core module journalism studies, and a core module in media research. So what you can see there, what you would do is you would start to look at your journalism skills and using them on specific platforms, specifically digital and social media journalism and radio journalism in broadcast journalism 1. You would then have a choice of modules. Now, at the moment, this is production of news and political communication in the first year, but that is likely to change next year, because at the moment you have to choose either broadcast journalism 2, which is television journalism, or magazine journalism. And we found that students actually want to do both. So what we're hoping is for next year, you will be able to choose one of those in each semester. For BA Journalism with Creative Writing, I'm afraid you don't get to choose from those options because the creative writing modules sit in those optional slots. So it's the same, except you don't do an option, and instead you do using stories and advanced creative writing. The third year gets very busy. So what you can see in the third year is a journalism dissertation and a journalism publishing project. That is 2 modules per semester, and then you get to choose 2 from the list below. If you're doing BA journalism, that list is political journalism, sports journalism, investigative journalism, data journalism, journalism placement, writing for PR, and then there's 3 modules there which may or may not change: the media, celebrity and fan culture, reporting panics, and community radio in practice. Those may be replaced by the time you get to your third year. If you're doing journalism with creative writing, you get all of that, plus you get to look at to choose from a lot of different creative writing modules. I'll just let you look at those for a moment. This is all on the website. We have made some slight tweaks to the program which will improve the options for students. I can't talk about them yet because they're not approved, but for example, we are looking to introduce another broadcast journalism module into the third year instead of the community radio module, which would be a bit more professional in its approach. Moving forward, if you're interested in one of the joint degrees, as I said, virtually all the joint degrees modules are currently existing. There's only one, I think, which we've had to create specifically for the joint program. I'll come to that when I talk about the third year. But for now, you can see an awful lot of the modules are similar. Indeed, there is no difference between BA Journalism and Media first year and BA Journalism first year. It's exactly the same. BA Journalism and Sociology takes half your journalism modules and then half your media module, your sociology modules. So that's what you can do on those 2 programs. In the second year, for BA Journalism and Media, again, the core modules are exactly the same, but the optional choices bring in a few more options. So you can see, for example, if you're doing this as a joint, you can choose identity and popular culture or global film culture as optional modules, which have come in from the media side. All the journalism module options, which were already available, are still there. For BA Journalism and Sociology, because a lot of the second year is absolutely core, what that means is the optional choices are all from sociology, so it sort of balances it out there in the second year. In the third year, the only difference, the only new module on the program is the is the journalism joints dissertation, alongside which is slightly bigger than the journalism dissertation but smaller than the media dissertation, and it's the same size as the sociology dissertation. Alongside that, you still study the publishing project, and then you get option module choices from those modules below. And as you can see, there are quite a lot of choices, because basically you are able to choose from the whole of the journalism optional modules and the whole of the whole of the medium optional modules if you're interested in that subject, or the sociology optional modules if you're interested in that subject. Again, this material is all on our website if you want to look at it in more depth, because to be honest with you, what you study in the third year should be crucial to your overall degree choice, because that's when you are specializing, and you ought to be able to see in the option choices the kind of modules that you personally are interested in. Health warning, which you will gather from what I've said, these are the modules that we can and do offer students at the moment, but not all these modules will be offered every year, and the choice will vary due to factors such as staff availability and student uptake. I can also tell you that literally we're in a window at the moment which we call curriculum planning, where we change, we improve the offer of the options we make to students. And as I was saying earlier, we've done things this year, like we are asking that the magazines and the broadcast journalism to the television journalism options are both available to students in the second year. So things like that will improve the offer, and more specialist modules in the third year, like that broadcast module, a specialist broadcast module in the third year, which we'd like to introduce. That has not been approved by the university yet. It's unlikely not to be approved, but it's not what you'll find on the website until it is approved. Once it is approved, it will go up on the website, and that is likely to happen, but I can't sit here now and say to you, yes, that's definitely what we're doing, because as I say, it hasn't been approved. So you need to bear that in mind, but hopefully the university will approve it, and those better options will be available to you. Coming on to the end of the presentation now, really, most of our teaching is actually in interactive workshops in computer labs, but we do also have lectures and seminars. We have a broad variety of assessment. We do a lot of practical work, we have group work, we have presentations, we have portfolios of work, and we have essays. And unfortunately, there is one exam still in the first year. We're semesterized. One of my daughter's friends came back from university last weekend, and she finished for Christmas. She was going to have 6 weeks off at Christmas because her teaching had finished, because she was in 3 8-week terms, but we are in 2 11-week semesters, which run from September to December and from January to March. And generally you will study 3 modules per semester. We like to support you. In our school, we have a personal tutor assigned to you from day one. You have careers and dissertation tutors, you have module leaders, program leaders, and lots of support within the support services of the university, including the Accessibility Centre, which helps people with neurological and learning differences. We have a counselling and wellbeing service, student welfare service, careers service, all sorts of things like that. We're a whole community which supports you. We're very keen on employability, and I've talked about that in the course of talking about the programme, so I won't talk much more about that, but I think you can understand you can't really do journalism without doing employability. We have lots of opportunities available to you: study abroad, sometimes societies organise field trips, and we have excellent facilities in the school. We have one computer lab up and running, which a lot of the journalism is taught in, and as of January, the second mirror image computer lab will be available for students. So all the teaching of the practical journalism courses will be done in the Astley Clark building on the facilities that we have provided in recent years. And beyond that, students get the opportunity to get involved in student journalism where separate facilities are available. A bit of information about how you apply to Leicester. Our typical offer at the moment is 3 Bs for BA Journalism with Creative Writing, and the 2 joint degrees. and you can see the equivalent standards that we're setting there for entry. Please do give us a shout if you've got any queries about entry qualifications, because we've got an excellent team of admissions staff who can help you. Last year we celebrated our centenary. Our university is one of only 2 in the world that was built as a memorial to the people who died in the First World War, and we've just, as it says at the top there, we've just completed a whole year of centenary celebrations, which has made everybody feel very positive about the university and its legacy. And our Latin motto is basically so that they may have life, which is a wonderful mission for us. We've chosen to honour the dead of the First World War by educating their successors. Finally, a little bit of a reminder, why might you choose BA Journalism at the University of Leicester? Well, as we've said, journalism is important. It shapes how we view the world. You will be able to do the practice of journalism and the study of journalism, be assessed in both, and open yourself up to careers in the communications industry or further study. You'll learn to think like a journalist on our course, and I very much hope you would have a lot of fun studying journalism. If you have any questions, obviously we're going to have question time now, and I'm going to answer the questions that I hope you've put in the chat, but also you must feel free to email me after this session. My email is very easy to find, tor.clark without an e at leicester.ac.uk. Please feel free to email me after the session if a question occurs to you that we haven't dealt with today. If you forget my email address, just Google me. There's only 2 Tor Clarks, and the other one is an actress from Doctor Who, so you can't really mix us up. And if you Google me, you'll find my profile from the University of Leicester, which also contains my email address. So thank you for your attention today. I've taken about half an hour of your time, but I want to devote the rest of the time today to your questions. So I'm going to stop sharing the presentation, and my colleague Maria is going to tell me what you've been asking me.
Thanks, Tor. That was a really great presentation, very informative. So currently we don't have any questions that have come through. So if anyone does have any, please do pop them in the question box for us and we'll answer them. So while we wait for any questions, I have a few that we could maybe run through that I think might be helpful. So Tor, if you could talk us through what the balance is like between practical and theoretical work during the course.
Yes, that's a good question, Maria. So in all journalism programs, you should always have theoretical and practical elements to your program. And most universities will prioritise one over the other. I like to think at Leicester we don't. As I said in the presentation, we mix the practical and the theoretical so that you learn about journalism through doing it. And you learn about the context of journalism. And sometimes the big core second year module, for example, its first assessment, which I'm about to have a look at, is basically an essay. And its second, and the essay is about aspects of digital and social media journalism. And the second assessment is a portfolio of digital and media journalism that you've created. So as I say, you can learn to do journalism, and you learn about journalism, and you're assessed in both. And what that means is at the end of the course, you can get a job in the communications industries, or you can continue into postgraduate study, because the degree will set you up for both. Thank you, Maria.
Perfect, thank you. And similarly, how valuable would you say work experience is?
Work experience is incredibly valuable. You saw in the presentation that I talked about employability. Employability runs right through the whole degree programme, but we do encourage students to do work experience in the summer between their first and second year, and in the summer between their second and third year. And there is a work experience placement available to students in the third year as part of their degree.
Brilliant, thank you. And what kinds of jobs have current students gone on to do?
Okay, well, we've only had one cohort of students graduated so far. They're the cohort that started in 2019. One of them, interestingly, came in and told me right at the start, he said, Tor, all I want to do from this is a career in marketing, preferably in America. And he was very clear that he wanted to use his journalism degree to set him up for a career in marketing in America. And before graduation, that student had gone off to America and got himself a job in a marketing firm in Miami. His mate on the course, the guy he did most of his modules with, actually was very keen to get into broadcast journalism, and he's now doing a master's in broadcast journalism at one of the leading providers of journalism practical master's programs in the UK. So that's two of the first cohort already going down the practical and the study route.
Really interesting, thank you. And then the final question, what would you like to see on a personal statement?
This is a good question. I get asked this a lot. I have teenage children myself, and them and their friends are always asking me this question. What I want to see from students interested in studying journalism is the fact that they've done something about that interest. I would like to see them having done work experience, or having maybe started a blog, or maybe writing gig reviews or sports reports or something like that. I would like to see them doing something about their interest in our subject. And if students can show an enthusiasm for journalism and demonstrate it by what they've done about it so far, that will attract the attention of the admissions tutor and could get them a place on the course they want to study.
Great answer, thank you. So that brings us to the end of the questioning. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Tor, or is that pretty much everything now?
I just want a couple of things, Maria. I always like to say at the end, for anybody watching this presentation later on, if you do have questions, do get in touch with us. I wish everybody watching this the best of luck in their exams, and I hope that we'll get to see some of you in September 2023 at the University of Leicester, and welcome you to our BA Journalism degree courses.
Thank you very much. And I popped your email address in the chat for anyone who wants to get in touch after this session. But brilliant, that was great. Thank you very much for that. And I will end the session here.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.